And here we are in the final hours of 2020, and what a year it has been. This year started off with a whole lot of different types of ambitions for me, that I was going to finally get out there, push myself a little bit more than I have done in recent years. I had so many adventures planned up, which we will get into. But the year started off quite quiet. January was your typical January where we didn't feel like doing much. We wanted to do more, but it's just that January was a very long month. The long wait for payday and all that there. But February was things started to happen a wee bit for myself. Unbelievably, that I had won the Amnesty International Bravery Award for the work that I do for human rights with regard to disabled people here in the north. So it was unbelievable, and it sort of started my 2020 off well, and I had hoped to embark from there. One of the great adventures I set up, but many of you who follow my website might be aware that I haven't flown in an airplane since 2010 due to health reasons. In fact, I came back from an airplane in Lourdes, and that's when things went a little caca, as Al Calawiti from Quantum Leap used to say. So because of that, I haven't been able to fly anywhere, but it would be my ambition to try and get out there and do something whether it was last year, this year, or next year. But the opportunity arose through different connections I made online. I had a place at the Eden Project in Cornwall where I was going to spend St. Patrick's weekend over there with like-minded people and build networks and share ideas and maybe learn new ideas and how to develop my way access. So that connection was made by the brilliant Neve Scullion in Derry. So I was meant to fly out there on the 17th of March, but unfortunately the 11th of March my world changed, and so did everybody else on this planet, where the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and I was put into strict lockdown. So today is the 31st of December, which is 295 days ago for me, which meant that I had to relocate from my home in Killyclare back into my mum and dad's home in Greencastle, where I've pretty much been ever since, except for maybe urgent trips outside, whether it's to hospitals or here apartments and little things like that there. So this room in this house has basically been my 2020. But it did take a little while for me to adjust because I'm quite a social person. I like to get out there about, meet my friends, meet new people. Very big into the advocacy work, which meant that I be out and about a lot, chatting to different people. One of the things I felt I was going to miss this year, which ultimately I did, was Comic Con. So little things like that there, did impact me on my anxiety quite a lot, especially when you were hearing sort of the worst stories that could be happening here regarding the pandemic. But I didn't want to rest on my laurels at this year, and I kind of sat around for maybe a month, 6 weeks, sort of watching Netflix and watching Disney Plus and all this sort of daytime TV, which it's not for me. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy my television, but I like to get out there and about too. But it just wasn't for me just to do this 24/7. So I started opening up Zoom and stuff like that. So one of the projects that I got involved in quite early on, which was the eating communities, especially here in the north. So that was a great outlet for me, where I was able to continue the work that I was supposed to be doing in Cornwall meeting fantastic people, new people, and sharing ideas. But it was also good for my outlet because for my mental health as well, because it meant I was continually meeting new people, having good discussions, sharing great ideas, and that led on to the big lunch, which was in the beginning of spring. So I was able to organise an online Zoom session to the support of the Eden Community Project for disabled people here. So I organised little events that we could get together and share ideas, share problems or concerns of what's happening in the lockdown and how we feel that we're being treated by local government or wider government or society around us. We even had the wonderful Andrea Begley who came in and sang us a few songs and kept us entertained as well. So that was brilliant. Uh, so I actually, during all these conversations, was the Eaton Community Project on Zoom. I met the wonderful Eileen from Crack NA. So we were just starting to chat about sort of different cultural ideas and what it's like to be from a different community coming into the north here and how feel to be treated in the camp there. And I was sort of to see how that feels to be a disabled person as well, because sometimes we can feel a little bit removed from the country and from the community and from people as well. So we were able to share a commonality between what we both share, but as well that maybe the segments are a little bit different as well. So Eileen had told me about an online course that she was going to be running through Crack A for the Case 4 Editive Programme, which is a level 3 cultural awareness training programme. So that was something I was very excited about. So I got to join it as well. So I did lasted for several months training twice a week on Zoom, where I was learning all about how to deliver proper training and how to be aware about the people's needs for some training, whether it's from a disability background or whether it's from a cultural background or whether it's from a religious background, whatever it may be, how to be aware and how to treat these, with sensitivity without being sort of uh, working on eggshells, as they say. So to me, that was an absolute learning curve. But it also gave me what I was missing in my life in 2020. It gave me a purpose again, gave me something to focus on, and it gave me a drive. So this is fantastic, and I've met so many wonderful people during this course. From all different walks of life and all different parts of life. From the Japanese community, from the Chinese community, from Malaysia and places like that there. So, and while it was good to do this course, it also did more to broaden my horizons as well, just to find out, just what is the mixing pot here in the country. And, and it's just something that I'll always treasure, be part of the Crack and A team, or as they say, it's good crack. But again, it gave me more confidence to do more things as well. I became more active in my way access because I thought I was going to have to shut everything down because the planet is shut down. But it opened up the world because through Zoom and Microsoft Teams, and I was able to attend more meetings than I ever could in the past because everybody else was shutting down. They were looking for avenues to try and keep things going, and as it is, was when you realise the difference between disabled people and non-disabled people, as whenever non-disabled people are affected, suddenly things open up a lot quicker. Um, Obviously, with the video conferencing, we found that to be something that happened just overnight, something that disabled people have been campaigning for years to open us up, but nevertheless, it's here now, and I do hope that it stays here because I'm getting so much more done now. I've been able to attend from I don't know, just the council meetings regarding disability access issues and rights. So I'm forever campaigning on different issues around the district. Whether it's certain things that people have been asking me to do about drop down curbs, roads, and access in the shop and that as well. But I'm also tackling bigger issues that I'm working on the council on with regarding to changing places. So this is going to be my passion project, which has been this year, but I'm going to really push as well within the council and other areas, including Stormont in 2021. Speaking of Dermot, I'm going to be working alongside disabled people for the Dermot government through the Department of Community to develop a disability strategy, and I'm going to be working alongside the disability co-design team, where we'll be liaising with disabled experts within the country, such as Sean Fitzsimon, who I know from his work in the past to Disability Action and other organisations, that this work is going to be in safe hands and important work is going to be done. So I'm really excited to be a part of that as well. So I have been doing a lot of different types of work as well. In fact, I've been working closely with some tech as well and the Translink to ensure that travel on trains and buses are safe for disabled people during the COVID pandemic to ensure that the spread of the virus is kept to a minimum. But as well as that, they're sort of working on the forward strategy for the coming year to ensure the buses and trains are accessible for disabled passengers who will be using them in the future, not just next year and the following year, but for the years down the next 5, 10 years to ensure that the right buses and services and trains are in place. But as well as all that work, I've had a lot of fun too. At the same time, like I've been part of a BBC documentary called The Disability Paradox, which was filmed just short 3 weeks before lockdown, where I was talking about mental health of disabled people and what it's like looking for relationships. And to answer that important question, can disabled people truly be happy? And in my case, as a disabled man, I am happy. Yes, I have my ups and downs, but many people do as well. So there's no different way to get. And I might have maybe certain levels of anxiety, but these are issues that I'm working on, which admittedly have been a little bit more difficult than this year. But I've got the skills now to different people I've been working with over the years to help me sort of fight through that. But some of the exciting things I've been working on as well outside of that, unbelievably, that I actually had a tiny part in the cameo in the new Bill and Ted Face the Music film, where I appeared for about a split second in the credits, dancing like an idiot, as I normally do, dressed as a glam rocker. So that was something unbelievable. So that was it was a treat to get to the Omniplex Cinema in Oma to see myself on the big screen. And for what a bad year it was definitely something that was very exciting for me to be a part of. Uh, some of the great things that I've been doing as well is along with my family, and which I'm sure every other family in the entire planet has been doing this year, is the infamous Zoom quizzes, which has been great crack and plenty cheating. I'm not saying the cheating was done by me, but there was really cheating going on. But so that's all part of the crack and banter. In fact, even tonight we're going to have a game for the coming to the end of 2020. We're going to have a game of categories, so I'm looking forward to that as well. So I suppose really to sum up, it's been a different year. It's been an interesting year. I've truly missed my independence. I truly miss having my own home. I truly miss going to work and working with my colleagues and who are actually friends, as I keep saying. So, but I hope 2021 with all these new vaccines coming into place, that everybody will, take it with common sense and realise that this is going to work, because like many of us, like we're hearing all these horror stories from Facebook and YouTube about how the whole thing's a hoax, and if it isn't a hoax, it's all to do with changing your DNA, and the government wants to control us, and Bill Gates that, and these things happen. Like people, when people are sort of anxiety to grow up, they kind of look for excuses, and they kind of look for reasons why things happen. And unfortunately, not everything in this life happens for a reason. Things just happen, and unfortunately, COVID-19 has been one of them things. And it's not the first time in history this has happened. it certainly won't be the last time. But please, when you get an opportunity, get the vaccine, take the vaccine. And before that, if you have to go out, sanitize your hands, put a face mask on, and socially distance. Trust me, this is 2020, this is my year, up and down and left and right, but it's been an interesting year, it's been a hard year, but it's been a good year, and it's just been a year. So here's to 2021, and let's see what you've got to offer us. Happy New Year.